Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. The baseball world woke up buzzing with whispers that felt louder than a packed stadium, because the idea of VLADIMIR Guerrero Jr. being announced by the Dodgers instantly reshaped the way everyone started talk about offense, power, and intimidation at the plate. This rumor did not arrive quietly. It rolled in like a coastal fog over Los Angeles, slowly at first, and then impossible to ignore, with insiders hinting that the front office wanted a bat capable of changing the rhythm of every single inning. Guerrero's name alone carries weight, not just because of his lineage, but because of the way pitchers alter their entire approach when he steps into the box. Even as speculation, the mere suggestion of him wearing Dodger blue sent content creators, analysts, and fans into a spiral of imagination, picturing lineups that suddenly felt unfair. The narrative being whispered is that this move is about more than star power. It is about redefining fear in the opposing dugout. When a player like Guerrero is mentioned in the same breath as the Dodgers, the assumption is immediate impact, immediate thunder, and a sense that every at-bat could tilt momentum. This rumor paints a picture of an organization not satisfied with consistency, but obsessed with dominance. As the speculation continued to grow, the conversation shifted toward how VLADIMIR Guerrero Jr.'s offensive profile would blend with the Dodgers' already patient and calculated approach at the plate. People close to the situation hinted that the attraction was not just raw power, but the maturity in his swing decisions, the ability to wait for a pitch he can punish, and the calm presence that forces mistakes. In these rumors, executives are described as seeing Guerrero as a middle-order anchor who does not just drive and runs, but creates them by altering pitching plans from the first inning on. The idea floating around is that his presence would make everyone else better, because protection in the lineup becomes real, not theoretical. Pitchers cannot dance around one star if another waits behind him, and that cascading pressure is what the Dodgers are rumored to crave. Fans imagine long counts, towering fly balls, and a sense of inevitability when he digs in. Even without confirmation, the narrative suggests that this move would symbolize a commitment to sustained offensive pressure, not relying on one hot streak, but on a relentless grind that wears opponents down inning by inning. Another layer of the rumor focuses on the psychological shockwave such an announcement would send across the league, because adding VLADIMIR Guerrero Jr. to the Dodgers is not just a transaction, it is a statement. The whispers suggest rival teams would instantly reassess their matchups, their rotations, and even their bullpen usage, knowing that a single mistake could erase a carefully built lead. This is where the speculation becomes almost cinematic, with storytellers painting scenes of late innings where tension rises simply because Guerrero is due up. The Dodgers are rumored to believe that fear is an underrated currency in baseball, and that having a hitter who commands it naturally can change entire series before they even begin. The talk is that this is not about headlines, but about leverage, about walking into a ballpark already living rent-free in the opposing pitcher's mind. Even as a rumor, it fuels debates about whether any other lineup could match that level of intimidation if this move became real. The discussion around immediate impact also centers on how quickly VLADIMIR Guerrero Jr. could adapt to the Dodgers' culture and expectations, with speculation suggesting that his professionalism would make the transition seamless. People close to the team describe a clubhouse that values preparation, video work, and situational awareness, all areas where Guerrero is rumored to excel. The story being told is that he would not need a long adjustment period, because his approach travels well, regardless of ballpark or uniform. This rumor paints him as a hitter who studies tendencies, who understands when to hunt power and when to settle for solid contact, a trait the Dodgers cherish deeply. Fans speculate about the way his right-handed swing would play under the lights, about line drives, screaming into gaps, and home runs that silence entire crowds. The sense is that the Dodgers believe in adding stars who amplify systems already in place, rather than disrupt them, and Guerrero fits that philosophy perfectly in this imagined scenario. As the buzz grows louder, the narrative expands beyond just statistics and mechanics, drifting into legacy and branding, because a Guerrero in Los Angeles feels almost poetic to some storytellers. The rumors suggest that the organization sees him as not only a present force, but a face for future chapters, someone whose highlights would loop endlessly across screens and whose jersey would flood the stands. This speculation frames the move as mutually beneficial, with Guerrero stepping into a spotlight that magnifies his talents, and the Dodgers reinforcing their image as a destination for elite hitters who want to win and entertain. Even skeptics admit that the fit feels natural on paper, which only fuels the rumor mill further. The idea of a bat that can decide games with one swing resonates deeply in a city that thrives on star power, and that emotional connection becomes part of the story being whispered. By the time this rumor reached its loudest pitch, it was no longer just about whether Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would join the Dodgers, but about what it would represent if he did. The speculation suggests a front office unwilling to settle, a fan base hungry for fireworks, and a league bracing for another powerhouse lineup. Every retelling adds another layer of anticipation, another imagined scenario where his presence changes the feel of an entire season. Even without confirmation, the rumor itself already has impact because it reshapes expectations and conversations, making people look at the Dodgers and wonder just how high their ceiling could climb with a bat like Guerrero's in the heart of the order. In this second part of the story, the rumor takes on an even more dramatic tone, as insiders speculate about the domino effect Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s arrival could have on the Dodgers' lineup construction and daily strategy. The whispers suggest that managers would gain a new level of flexibility, because a hitter of his caliber allows for creative sequencing that keeps pressure constant from the first pitch to the last out. The imagined scenarios describe opposing pitchers facing a relentless stretch where there is no safe inning, no breath to reset, because Guerrero's spot in the order anchors everything around it. This part of the speculation focuses heavily on how run production could become more consistent, not relying on one player getting hot, but on sustained chaos for defenses. Fans talk about long innings, about pitch counts rising, and about bullpen phones ringing earlier than planned, all because one bat forces uncomfortable decisions. The idea is that his presence would transform the offense into something oppressive, a machine that grinds rather than explodes randomly. Another angle being whispered revolves around mentorship and influence, with speculation that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would elevate younger hitters simply by example. Stories circulate about his work ethic, his routines, and the way he studies pitchers, suggesting that his habits could quietly spread through the clubhouse. The Dodgers are rumored to value this type of internal growth, believing that stars should also be teachers, even without saying a word. In this imagined future, younger players watch how Guerrero prepares, how he handles failure, and how he remains dangerous even when pitchers avoid him. The speculation frames this as an invisible impact, one that does not show up immediately on highlight reels but compounds over time. The lineup becomes smarter, more patient, more confident, because one of the most feared hitters sets a tone of calm aggression. This part of the rumor paints a picture of cultural impact as powerful as any stat line. The second part of the narrative also dives into how opposing teams might respond, with speculation that entire game plans would shift around neutralizing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Analysts imagine more careful pitch sequencing, more defensive shifts, and more intentional avoidance, all of which could open opportunities for others. The rumors suggest that even when Guerrero is not the one delivering the decisive blow, his shadow looms over every at-bat. This is where the idea of immediate impact becomes broader, because it is not just about what he hits, but about what he enables. Walks turn into rallies, mistakes turn into big innings, and patience becomes contagious. The Dodgers, in this speculative storyline, understand that true offensive power is often indirect, and that Guerrero embodies that principle perfectly. There's also talk about the emotional lift such an announcement would provide, with speculation that the energy around the team would spike instantly. Fans imagine packed stadiums buzzing with anticipation every time Guerrero's name echoes through the speakers, creating an atmosphere that feeds the players on the field. This rumor frames baseball not just as a game of numbers, but as a performance where confidence and adrenaline matter. The Dodgers are portrayed as an organization keenly aware of this, seeking players who thrive under bright lights rather than shrink from them. In this imagined chapter, Guerrero becomes a catalyst for excitement, the kind that turns routine games into events simply because of the possibility he represents. As the speculative tale continues, some whisper about legacy, wondering how this move could define an era for both Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the Dodgers. The idea being floated is that certain partnerships transcend transactions, becoming reference points in baseball history. While no one claims certainty, the rumors suggest that this fit feels like one of those moments where ambition and opportunity align. Guerrero, in this story, is not just joining a lineup. He is stepping into a narrative that could amplify his career while fueling the Dodgers' pursuit of sustained excellence. The emotional weight of that possibility is what keeps the rumor alive, retold with excitement and curiosity. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Continuing the swirling speculation, insiders hint at how Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s presence could force opposing managers into constantly reactive strategies, with rumors suggesting entire pitching staffs would need to be rotated differently just to handle the perceived threat. The whispers paint a picture of late-game decisions becoming tense chess matches, where a single misstep could lead to devastating consequences. Every bullpen call, every intentional walk, every subtle shift would suddenly carry heightened stakes, because Guerrero is imagined as more than a hitter. He is a catalyst for disruption. Analysts speculate that his very aura at the plate could induce overthinking in pitchers, leading to mistakes that benefit the lineup in ways statistics alone might not capture. The Dodgers, according to these rumors, will be banking not just on home runs or extra base hits, but on the psychological edge that Guerrero brings, a kind of quiet intimidation that slowly wears down opponents over the course of a game, a series, and possibly an entire season. Fans are left to imagine innings stretching longer, pitch counts rising, and the tension building simply because one star player occupies a single spot in the order, turning every plate appearance into a potential turning point with cascading effects across the entire field. The speculation further explores how Vladimir Guerrero Jr. could redefine the identity of the Dodgers offense, with whispers suggesting he would blend raw power with situational awareness in ways that few hitters can replicate. Rumors indicate that executives see him not as a solo performer, but as someone who elevates everyone around him, creating pressure that allows teammates to capitalize on pitchers trying to avoid mistakes. In these imagined scenarios, Guerrero's right-handed swing becomes almost a narrative device, setting the stage for dramatic innings, towering fly balls, and clutch hits that shift momentum instantly. Analysts talk about the strategic flexibility his presence provides, giving managers the freedom to structure lineups around him and optimize matchups without losing overall cohesion. Fans imagine him stepping into Dodger Stadium, the lights reflecting off his bat as pitchers hesitate, trying to outguess him, but already a step behind. Even in the realm of rumor, this discussion portrays him as a transformative piece whose arrival could elevate the entire offense from good to seemingly untouchable, forcing opponents to rethink the very way they approach games against Los Angeles. Finally, the whispers delve into the cultural and symbolic impact of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. joining the Dodgers, with speculation suggesting that his arrival could energize both the clubhouse and the fan base in ways that extend far beyond raw statistics. The narrative being spun imagines a city buzzing every time he steps to the plate, jerseys flooding stadiums, social media erupting with anticipation, and a renewed sense of belief in the team's pursuit of dominance. Insiders hint that the Dodgers see him as a figure capable of blending star power with professionalism, someone who embodies both charisma and work ethic, inspiring teammates while captivating fans. Even though none of this has been confirmed, the speculation alone has already reshaped conversations about lineup construction, game strategy, and the emotional tone of the season. In this imagined scenario, Guerrero's potential impact feels immediate, tangible, and transformative, turning every at-bat into a headline, every swing into a story, and every game into an event, reinforcing why whispers of his arrival have become one of the most thrilling rumors in baseball, igniting imagination and expectation alike. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.